All right, everybody, we are live. I hope you guys can hear me, probably muffled. But welcome to the Andy Fellows After Party. So far with us, we have, of course, myself and Andy, the guest of honor tonight. We have Cass Eris, and we also have Unholy Sarah is with us. And she was wearing the shirt, so I figured I could probably try to one-up her with a mask. And now apparently I'm going to get beat up by her boyfriend because I'm on her boobs.
It's okay. He works overnights. He's not home.
Oh, okay.
You'll never know.
All right, you know what? I'm taking this fucking thing off.
Yeah, that looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'd be hot in there, I bet. Probably smells like ass as well.
Damn it. There.
I've never seen your forehead
Just take it all off. Take it all off. There we go. Just so you guys know, I have more hair than Steve McRae.
Did you measure it?
Your hair is...
Well, his is like back here, so I haven't quite hit that point yet. All right, I'm putting my bandana back on. I look like an idiot.
This is just going to be him dressing and not dressing.
Yeah, all after party, just changing outfits.
I should leave it pointy. Look like I got like a black KKK hood on or something. No, that would be like not good.
But yeah.
All right. All right, there we go. Presto changeo. Magic. Sorry. All right, there we go. And I got to stop drooling on my keyboard. That's never a good thing.
Are you doing that again?
All these sparks and shit fly out of there. It's crazy.
Oh, right. Here's a story. Once
a man named Brady. Oh, sorry.
Cheers for that. So I was living in England. I had my old laptop. I had a pint glass full of Coke. And spilled it on the laptop. Just the whole thing went on the laptop. It worked for like maybe a month, but the keys didn't. They were progressively stickier. I left the laptop because I knew it was broken. It was doomed. And I come back to England to try it. Not to try it. I was in England for other reasons, but while I was in England, I tried the laptop, turned it on, didn't work. Completely gone. It was such a shame. And that week, my family had gone to Disneyland as well, so I was in the house on my own, and I was like, right, this week's going to be ace. I've got so much I'm going to do. Just get onto my laptop, and then I did that.
Did I ever tell you my Disneyland story?
No, it's a Disneyland story.
Well, my boss, who Jesus is Lord, just said Street McRae banned me. It's okay, you're not missing much. Actually, outside of the whole YouTube a-hole that he is, Steve's actually not a bad guy. It's not my fifth beer. This is my second beer. What's wrong with you? Keep count, man. There's going to be a quiz later. How many beers did Neil drink? And then I got this, the Yeti Pop. Right? It's alcohol for Sasquatch. No, I'm totally just kidding. It's actually a pop top because you can put your weed in it.
Nice.
So there you go.
So you're telling us your Disney story?
That's right.
I want to hear that.
I started out because my boss, who used to own the company that I work for, used to be called M&R Environmental. And I'm the guy that does all the lab work and stuff like that there, which is where my chemistry degree or whatever we'll say comes into play. You pray for me, Lord, or Jesus is Lord, and I'll talk to my cat for you. Expect the same results. Anyways, so he paid for all of us to go down as a what do you call it, bonding exercise with all the employees. And so I'm down there with a buddy of mine, and we're standing in line for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And this little kid comes up to me and asks me if I was actually part of the ride. Are you one of the pirates?
Can I take a picture?
Oh, he did take. His mom took a picture of me with the kid. And I was like, "Yar, right? Like, yar, little man. Have you seen me, parrot? He was sitting on my shoulder 2 moments ago. You know, are you happy? That kind of thing, right?" And he was all like, "Oh," you know how the kids get that look on their face, right? It's just so funny. Anyways, don't pick on Jesus as Lord. Perfectly allowed to hang out in the chat all they want. Okay, so
Yeah, but he's quite frustrated right now.
yes, and frustrated responded to him. Off to do some butt fucking. That's not cool, dude. You're giving atheists a bad name, and I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to show people that atheists are actually not that bad of people. We just don't believe the things you believe. That's it.
Yeah, we just have no reason not to rape and kill.
At least not yet.
Keep the comment section like it is, and we might find one.
Yeah. I was at a party one time, and this girl goes, "I'm going to rape you." And I'm like, "You can't rape the willing." This was like in the 80s when that kind of talk was actually, you know, because I'm old and shit. So there you go.
Is that what the 80s were like?
That's what at the parties in the backyard at someone's house? Yes.
Well, I also don't know what parties are like. This is the closest I get to partying.
And she's drinking water.
Hey.
Top notch. I know. I've got some here too. Okay. All
Hydration
right.
Club.
That's what I do. That's my routine. Is when I drink, I'll have a couple of beer, and then I'll pound like a bottle of water, just so that I don't get that whole hangover thing going on because they suck. Not as bad as just fucking cold, but yeah. I've heard. Oh, listen to this guy, Mister. You can't touch me with that shit. Oh, great! Santa Claus is topless. Come on, Santa. Tuck those titties in somewhere else, okay? Hydration Club. Yes. Hi, Nerdy Rodent. All right. So, Cass.
Yes.
I'd love to have you on my show and talk about, because you were saying in the chat, right, that you had sort of a story that you'd like to tell as well, right?
Yeah, I've got a video on my channel about it, just sort of how I ended up from being raised like Sunday, or not even Sunday, holiday Christian, to kind of vaguely spiritual, to sort of embracing psychology. I've got a cognitive psychology PhD.
Oh, wow.
And just meshing like how the brain works, and when there's brain damage, people's personalities can really change, and what does that mean for a person's soul? And kind of ended up like there's no soul, and that's where I'm at. So
would you be interested?
Do with sorry.
Awesome. Sarah, listen here, right? Hands up if you have something to say. No, I'm kidding.
Pat, what do you do with the degree? Do you have a job like with your degree?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, so
It must be so interesting.
Part of my channel is sort of just talking about the dual academic experience. My husband has a physics PhD, and we're high school sweethearts. So basically, our thing has been like, we'll go with the best offer, and the other person will make it work. So this is me making it work.
That's awesome. High school sweethearts too. Some very good friends of mine are very the same sort of thing. You couldn't tear them apart when they were in high school. It's like, all right, you guys fucking get in there with a shoehorn or a crowbar or something and try and get them apart. And they ended up getting married, and they've got 3 kids now. And he's a fireman, and she's actually a nurse here. And they're good people. I still talk to them from time to time, but it's just funny to see them now as opposed to when they were in school together, pretty much locked at the lips full time. It's like, we're trying to teach a course here, guys. Come on. But when I hear stories like that, and and they're still together, and of course you're still together with her husband. I think that's awesome. Bible Belt, are you driving your house around again? Is that the engine noise I'm hearing?
No,
that's somebody else.
that was me. I live near a racetrack, apparently.
Oh, sweet.
Where are you at? I want to move in.
Well, it's far too many people with far too much money and no sense. So there'll be like Lambos and Ferraris, and the speed limit's like
now I
40.
Really wanna come.
No, you know.
Some guy just ripped past me when I was having a smoke out front in one of the brand new Corvettes, and fuck, those things are nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't liked a Corvette since like the 70s because I found their body styles to be really bulbous and weird looking. But the last few, I was just gonna say, "Come on in, Russ," and there he is. I was just gonna. So yeah, but I really dig the new Corvette. I think it's really cool looking. It kind of looks like a little.
Yeah, the C8 is
Batmobile.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And no, it does not look like a Batmobile. It's a nice car, but it's not a Batmobile.
Okay, I know. Nothing's as cool as a Batmobile.
Like I've seen the C8, and it's nowhere close to the Batmobile.
What's up, Russ?
What's going on, guys?
I love your new avatar with the little pumpkin head dude there. That's great.
Yes, I put that on for this one.
Oh, did you?
But not for this specific hangout, but this every time people use StreamYard, this is what my avatar is.
Oh, very cool. It's very evil.
It's been my avatar for avatar for quite some time now on Twitter.
Awesome. You know what I can do? I can wear the bow tie. There we go. Oh, okay, maybe not. Damn gravity. Fuck you, Isaac Newton.
Oh,
Yes,
puppy.
we all know.
Definitely.
We all know that gravity only. We all know that gravity only existed when Isaac Newton figured it out.
That's right, yeah.
He invented it, and now we all have to live with that.
That's right.
How
That's why I
it's
drop stuff at work and get in trouble all the time. Neil, that beaker costs $300.
Clumsy
Well,
chemist.
you can thank.
Yeah.
Well, you can thank Isaac Newton. It was all his fault.
That bastard.
I mean, hey, they do make for really good videos whenever an entire warehouse falls down.
Oh, have you seen the beer one where it just ends up foaming all over the place? That's brilliant. I'm like, I'd be there to help.
Yeah,
clean
I've
up.
seen.
Giant straw.
I think we're talking about the same one where the guy is on the forklift and he backs into one thing
Yes.
and everything just starts coming. Oh yeah, that's always fun
And
to
he gets
watch. I'm
and
like,
he gets buried under everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at
You know,
that
we
point in
get-
time, you know what?
glorious.
I'd say, fuck it. I'm done. I'm done working here, guys. I
Yeah.
already know I'm getting fired, so we're good.
Peace out.
Tony decides like, you have gravity in Canada? You're so lucky. Well, I think so. Anyways, let's see. Let's see. Yep, we do. Yep.
That's a
The
lie.
simplest test ever. It's a lie. Get out of here, you
It's a
flat.
lie. It's not gravity. It's downity. I mean, come on now. Everyone knows that.
Isn't that the sheets you put in your dryer? Oh, that's downy.
It's uppity and downity. You know, everyone knows this stuff.
You're making me feel downity, Russ. Okay, so enough with the. It's like a bad joke, dad joke, bad dad joke. Is that a thing? I spew out bad jokes all the time. So I said one to my roommate last night, and she did one of those Picard facepalm things like this.
Oh, I found one. I heard one that I just could not stop laughing at, and I told my wife, and she laughed at it too.
Really?
It was, it's why do ducks have feathers?
Uh-oh. Why?
To cover up their butt quack. I just laughed my ass off at it. I don't know why. It's stupid, but to me it was just so hilarious. I was like, oh my god, I love this.
Their butt quack. All right. I guess that can rank as a knee slapper. It's 2/3 of a pun, buddy. P.U.
It made me laugh. So, I mean, that's all I care about. Anytime, it's funny because every time I tell a joke, I'm not telling it to make other people laugh. I just care about if I laugh at it.
Okay, as long as you laugh, it's all good, right?
Exactly.
Sarah, what's going on with your channel these days? And I dig the head.
Halloween stuff. Thank you.
Well, we could have guessed that just by looking at the background and the T-shirt.
Yeah, no kidding. Always,
What's this?
I'm spooky all year round.
Yeah, I know. A lot of my friends think I'm like 12. I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
I like to joke that I dress like an angsty teenager.
Well, that's why I have that shirt. I've shown you guys the shirt before. It says, "I'm not like most teens. I'm in my 50s." So there you go. Yeah, but
Sarah, you just
growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional.
I love that quote.
But there, to complete the angsty teen look, do you listen to Nirvana as well?
Yes.
Hey, don't trash Nirvana.
They're classic.
At this point, yeah.
Classic? No, 90s isn't classic.
90s is.
Yes, it is.
At this point, it's classic.
At this point,
Because
No.
classic.
No, because if you're telling me that 90s are classic, I'm getting.
Oh, and he cut out.
What?
It's not classics, all right?
What?
I said
We have a classic rock station here in Vancouver that plays Nirvana. So guess what, Russ? You and I are both ancient.
No, I'm not getting old.
I was 5
I'm
years
not
old
getting
when the
old.
90s
Shut up.
ended, so I would consider Nirvana classic.
Guess like I'm not getting into this one.
No.
I can't get into this
Wait.
one.
You said you were 5 years old when.
I was gonna say that. And then there's Zach. He's like,
Like, I can't really get into this one because I was born in 01, so I can't really say anything.
exactly.
Oh my god. Better.
Sarah,
Just gonna
but
slide
you
under
said
the
you were 5 when what happened?
Do what?
When the 90s ended.
Oh, you were 5 when the 90s ended?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So you're born in '95, basically.
Correct.
See, smart like a marble. Whatever that means. No, sharp like a marble. That's the expression. Sorry.
Hey, this
So
keeps
literally,
cutting me out a little bit. I keep dropping. So, and if it happens again, I'm going to change browsers and see if that helps. But I do want to
Which
drop
browser are
in.
you using?
Firefox at the moment.
That's why.
Chrome.
Andy's
Chrome.
internet is
Chrome.
shit.
It's not been great this week, has it? We've
No.
not enjoyed my internet this week.
You know, Andy,
Now-
I'm going to admit something to you right here and now. The empty shelves behind you are kind of bothering me. You have shelves.
They're there for the
Shit on
cat.
your shelves.
Right.
They're
All right, simmer
for the
down.
cat.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I will say
so
one
the
thing.
amount-
I was just going to say, I will say one thing. Firefox is good when it comes to certain programs. But mainly, if you're going to use an everyday type of browser for like things like this, Chrome is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bear that in mind in future. I, to be fair, I couldn't just put it down to the browser. My internet has been shocking this week, as Sarah said. So
Shocking.
absolutely shocking. But
We'll
yeah,
be
so
trying to talk on this. It just keeps dropping.
yeah, it wasn't. It's so frustrating. Just trying to have a conversation. What was I going to say? There's something else I was going to say.
Your shelves?
Shelves. All right, yeah, right. Go easy on the shelves. Because I've had this in my videos. I've had people comment and like, because there's like a new age thing about like your
Is that where all your
exterior
crystals
reflects
were?
your interior. What was that?
Is that where all your crystals were?
Yeah, just like pushed them off into a bin.
My quartz collection. And
It's like, He says, I'm no longer a new ager. Don't do this shit no more.
Yeah, but we'll keep the shelf just for good measure because you never know, do you? You never know when it'll come in handy. No,
Might
okay,
have
so
more.
right here. this is the shelf situation. There's all this whole new age thing where they're always like, oh, your exterior reflects your interior. The empty shelves say a lot. Right. Those shelves are full of cats. Look,
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
look.
There's and that,
That is a
folks,
cat.
is evidence.
Sweet. Right?
All right. You are forgiven, my friend, for having.
And
Reflects
frozen.
my interior.
Yeah, that's a good
my
frame to
interior
freeze
is
on.
loving. What did it do?
It's fluffy and loving, and it meows a lot.
When you live with cats, though, everything is kind of for the cats.
Oh yeah.
Cat shelf, of course. Yeah, exactly, Danny. Yeah. My insides pretty much eat, sleep, and poop. There you go. Because that's what cats do, right? They eat, sleep, poop, and occasionally put their scent on your leg or something.
No.
Just come up to you.
There's
and
an
they're
old.
just Okay.
I can honestly say I've never seen another cat do that. Sorry, Rob.
We have an old box spring that's sitting in our dining room because I've been meaning to take it downstairs to the dumpster, but I've been
Did you
a
just
bit
eat on
busy.
it?
No.
You like your
No,
table?
the cat decided that is now their new perch because it's the highest spot they can get to, and so now even the old box spring that's supposed to be garbage is now the cat box spring. Until I don't want to know what they're thinking whenever I go to finally take it downstairs. The fuck you doing, guy? That's ours. Stop it.
Drop
think
the box spring, human.
I think we've only really changed the cat furniture on moves. Like they had this old 70s chair. It was ugly, it was awful, but the cats loved it. And it's like, we can't get rid of it. We can't get rid of it because the cats just use it. But then we moved and it kind of conveniently got thrown away and it was never in the new place. And they didn't
Where'd the
complain.
chair go? Cats are all confused now. They like, I don't know what to do.
I need my chair.
Yeah. We
That's
had
the thing,
a
though.
that our cat liked. Not our cat, but my roommate's cat liked a lot, and he'd sleep on it all the time. And then she got rid of it, and she got a couple of chairs, and now he's always like he has to decide which one he wants to sit in. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, little guy. So many problems. Now I got to decide things.
My cats just wherever they plop down at, that's theirs now. Doesn't matter where it's at. It's like, what's that? That's your laptop? Oh, it's mine now. Thank you.
They're like the seagulls from Nemo. Mine, mine, mine.
Yes. Oh,
And-
were you about to use that counter? Yeah, that's mine now too.
Yeah.
Like I was saying this the other day, I set up like I was going to sit down. I think I was doing like a chat with someone for a YouTube thing, and I set everything up here on the sofa. I got my laptop, got a microphone, set the sofa up, get up to go for a wee, come back, cat.
Yep.
Every time.
Every time.
And anytime you buy them something to play with, they'll play with a packet instead. It will be the packet that they're interested in.
Mhm.
Bit of plastic, bit of paper, receipt, bus ticket, you name it. Never the thing you spent money on.
Nope. You buy them a fucking $500 cat tree, and they want to sit in the box it came in.
We've bought
True.
things for my cat to play with, and he'll sit there and he'll bat it around for a second, but God forbid you fucking roll up a piece of paper and put it on the coffee table. He looks up at that coffee table and is like, yeah, that ball of paper is about to be mine. It's like, you have that fucking
Obviously.
$20 toy that we've got you. What? Why the hell are you getting this? That's a lie
It's
because
fine.
we don't spend $20 on anything. If we spend $20 on something, it's got to be something crucial.
You spend the
But
money on
it's
the
like-
tinfoil. You make little tinfoil balls. They love that shit.
Yeah.
I used to have kids give me their crafts made out of like pipe cleaners because like I worked with the kids. They gave me the crafts as like a gift, and overnight, no matter where I left them, Salem would get to them and they'd become his toys.
It's pipe cleaners, man. That's hours of
Yeah.
entertainment for a cat.
Loves pipe. We still have some of those pipe cleaners from like 2 summers ago. He loves them.
All right, yeah, this dude just well, you guys know cats when they sit on a table, if there's stuff on the table, it's going to be on the floor within minutes.
Yeah.
They just sit there. They just like, fuck this, fuck this.
That's
Wait.
exactly.
Fuck that in particular. That's it. They just
My
knock shit
cat-
over. My cat, that beer was full.
Oh no.
My cat once he looked at me, and I knew what he was about to do. He was about to come at me and just start attacking my arm. But he sat there and got into the pounce position. I was like, "Don't you do it! Don't you fucking do it, cat!" And he went over the table, knocked shit down in the process, and then jumps at me and attacks my arm. I'm like, "You fucking did it! Damn it!" I knew he was gonna knock
After
something
I
over.
told you
and he
not
did.
to.
Yeah, after I told him not to, he does it because I knew he was going to knock shit over, and he did it anyway.
After I taught you English and everything.
I mean, that's the nice thing about cats getting older. Like Cleo, if she makes an appearance, is 16 and kind of arthritic, so her jumping days are kind of over. But anything that's like one little kitty jump is hers, absolutely. But yeah, like my shelves would not nearly be this organized if she was in her prime.
Don't like this book. Don't like this book.
Yeah, it's all gone, never to be seen again.
This is like, this book's not about me. This book's not about me.
This book is about me, but I don't like these pictures.
Why did you use my bad side? God damn it.
That's hysterical. Yeah, they're funny little beings, aren't they?
They're the best.
Speaking of
Mano's like, am I the only dog owner? No, I love dogs too. I love animals in general.
Oh, no, you see, our house is a regular zoo. We have 2 dogs, 2 cats,
As opposed
2 guinea pigs, and a hedgehog.
a hedgehog.
You think that's a zoo? When I met my boyfriend, his little sister had 24, 25 pets, not including the goats and the chickens.
Why would you include the goats and the chickens? I mean,
Those are tasty.
they're not even proper animals, are
I'm
they?
just counting
Aw.
Goats are like rubbish sheep.
Look,
Rubbish. But
like
maybe
snakes
goats
and
are
hedgehogs
hilarious.
and birds. Great.
look, if you have goats and chickens and whatnot, it goes from being a zoo to a petting zoo.
Yeah. There's a little I guess you could say gift shop on Vancouver Island. It's got a grass roof, and they have goats on the roof. Little baby goats around up there. It's
Goats are a trip.
Oh yeah.
First time I ever met one, he headbutted my car.
Right.
So,
There-
where
Oh,
I
go
used to live, there's like this huge gorge, like really tall rock faces, and there's these goats which have bred with the local sheep over generations, so they call them shoats. And
It's evolution, people.
yeah, is
Sorry.
it micro? Isn't that microevolution though?
No, that would be macroevolution.
So,
Well, it depends. Can they interbreed now? Because that's
yeah,
right.
well,
Speciation is
I
based on
don't know. Anyway, so you just drive down and you just look up and there's just a shoat just stuck to the wall, just like looking down at you. And they
like a piece of rock like that thin.
yeah, it's impressive what they manage with their hoofs.
Yeah.
Their
I
hoofs.
remember I watched this video. This guy, he had his baby goat. And he told his baby goat something because the baby goat had been
Was he the goat whisperer?
buying. Well, I don't know. He was the baby goat was gnawing at him, and
You're so loud.
and he said, "Look, don't you backtop me." And then as soon as he said that, he was about to say something else. The big goat went "Meow" at him, and it's like,
I love that. I've seen that.
oh,
They're fucking
Like-
tripping.
It's just so funny because it was like the baby goat was like, "Don't you dare tell me what I can and cannot do."
Totally.
I was like, "Oh my god, I love this little goat."
Thanks, Ken Ham. They're still the same kind. Or is it Hovide? Yes, Hovide.
Cass, where did you ruin the drop bear thing?
Oh, did I ruin it?
Yeah. You're
Oh.
not supposed to just say
I
it's
missed
a koala. You're supposed to be like, so there are these things that they're in the trees and Australians live in fear and they come down and like make it a thing. You just say it.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny because
I have to ask Nacho Witness. It's true.
Yeah, it was actually funny because Nacha actually got me on that.
Oh,
We were sitting there chit-chatting, back and forth. And he said, we have these things called drop bears and he was explaining it.
that's
And because
right.
I've never been in the fucking outback, so I have no fucking clue what the hell's out there. I'm like, oh my. He's like, and he just started laughing. He goes, dude, no, I was joking. It's a koala bear. I was like, oh.
Those things can be vicious, man.
That's the thing with Australia, though, isn't it? Because everything wants to kill you there. And someone says, oh, there's these little bears. And you go, sure, fine. I mean, it's Australia, isn't it? Of course, obviously. Why didn't I think of it?
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing, is because he talked about, because if I'm not mistaken, Nacha actually did for a while live out in the outback. And so he, being out there, because that's where the great majority of the animals that want to kill you live. Whenever he said drop bears,
Dundee one too many times.
yeah. Well, when he started talking about drop bears, I was like, you said, I was like, yeah, that seems like something that's completely there because
legit,
because it's fucking Australia.
We got funnel web spiders and the top 2 most venomous snakes in the world, and we got all kinds of shit here. Everything.
Why not a vampire bear?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's like,
hang on a second.
like,
now that you say that, they actually have a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Vampire Koala.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I'm not going to go digging through my card collection, but it's a real thing.
Oh.
It must be from that.
Hell, I would have found it hilarious if someone sat there and said, there's a bear over in the outback that literally he drops down and he has machine guns with him and he's already plowing away at you. I've been like, damn.
There you are.
Outback's did I cut out?
Sorry.
You kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
Oh,
like the icebergs up in the north. You kind of just dropped off.
Which is kind of weird because I have full screen on my
No, not you, Sarah.
Oh.
I thought you might be. I don't know what happened. It just.
You're coming through loud and clear, Russ. Don't worry about it.
Okay, because it got quiet for a minute, and then all I hear is, "Oh, there you are," and I was like, "Oh, did I drop off? What happened?"
Yeah.
I had that same experience.
Whoa, man! Maybe there is some spiritualities.
Synchronicity,
We're like
man.
connected and stuff. We're gonna swap ports.
or you get somebody who doesn't know anything about quantum physics and says it's quantum entanglement.
Oh boy.
Quantum entanglement. You swap positions.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what quantum entanglement is?
Mm-mm. I don't know anything about physics.
Well, what quantum entanglement is in a nutshell.
Help you out there.
What quantum entanglement is basically you have 2 sets of particles that could be singular or a group of them that are intertwined no matter the distance between them. Like, so if one set goes in a circular fashion, the other set goes counterclockwise in the same circular fashion. They're linked
be at
like
either
that.
end of the universe and it'll still happen.
Yeah.
It also proves that
And,
soulmates exist.
It also proves what?
What?
Soulmates exist.
Hang on, I'm just going to mute Andy here for a second.
Is this New Age Andy coming out?
He's made a resurgence. We're going to talk about soulmates.
No, that's No, that's
Once
true.
again, you want to swap quartz or tourmaline or tiger eye or something?
I've got a really lovely.
Do I need to get my chakras aligned for this?
Yeah, you got to realign your chakras, Russ.
Oh man.
Come on
I
over.
was
I'll
going to
give
go.
you
I was going to
I have
go
a
with
friend that
twin
does,
flames. I was going to go with twin flames, but I didn't know if everyone would know what that was, so I went for soulmates. But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I got a friend here who'll give you a nice Reiki massage if you like.
Oh, thank you. Look, I just know that my third eye is only halfway open right now, so I need to open my third eye completely, so my chakras need to be in line.
No, it'll help opening that third eye. Just cut out all fluoridated water.
That's right.
Stop
Water.
Stop brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure that I'm not below any chemtrails. You know.
That's right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
really important stuff. Yeah.
Holy shit! Talk about an asshole that just abuses his shit out of quantum physics to try and push his spirit and nonsense. Deepak Chopra.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I always love it when people do all this stuff where they say physics has proven this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's bullshit.
You sure?
Already, I don't even need to read the article. The very second I hear physics has proven this, I already know you're misusing physics right off the bat.
Yep.
I mean, there's only two options. It's like either it has, and we've got like some new big scientific achievement or discovery, or it's bullshit.
But when you hear them say physics or science has proven this, and they're not like such and such a doctor did such and such a study, it's always just like it's a blanket statement, just science.
Yeah.
No
science.
Always twisted up.
And you're just like, oh wait, did science become its own entity these days? What happened here? Science is out there doing shit that science can't do in general. Yay.
Well, science is an umbrella term anyways. I mean, which science are we talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And give these people credit as well. If they've proven this thing, then let's name some names. Let's give them a bit of credit if they've done that.
Show me the papers, man. I'll read that shit.
Yeah.
I read that shit all the time at work. Show me some stuff.
Well, it's funny because those articles that actually do start naming scientists, when you actually get into what they actually said, it's absolutely not at all what they said.
Actually,
you do really?
Actually,
yes, I say actually a lot, so shut the fuck up about it.
Actually,
I'm actually going to have another sip of beer.
It's messed up because people always say, "Oh, you're one of those actually atheists." And it's like, I am, but I'm not like that in that way. Just shut up, because actually is a word that I always use.
verbal tick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Verbal tick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is
is that a cognitive psychology thing?
Not necessarily. It's just I think I got it more from like acting classes. I don't know.
I took acting classes years ago.
Long ago.
I can't tell you how many tweets I've had to delete delete parts of them because I was like, I've used actually in this sentence about 5 times. Let's not send that one out.
Really eats up the character count, doesn't it, on Twitter?
Yeah, it does. Well, it eats up the character count, and then I'm like, yeah, even this is way too much for me.
Do you know what I keep doing when I'm typing? I write words that sound a bit like the word I want to write, and then nothing to do. It just for some reason it just sounds a bit similar. Not the same letter.
I think dyslexia of some kind, or
what that is. Cognitive psychology, Cass.
Yes.
Explain it.
And next up on the panel.
Well, I think it probably is like you're going for the homophone of the word, and so it like fits. But then, like if you're more engaged in the writing task than the getting the appropriate words in the writing task, then I could see that happening. But
does that come under cognitive psychology? Because I keep thinking I understand what cognitive psychology is, and then I don't understand. So when we've been messaging and that, and I'm just like, I get like, I think this is what it is.
So I think the issue that like we're having is cognitive psychology includes like attention, memory, decision making. Like it's a whole bunch of different things. Kind of like physics, you can break down to like particle physics, nuclear physics. Like they all have their own little subfields, and they have relationships to each other. But like when you're specialized in that field, the other stuff is kind of there, and you don't know it as well.
So what have you specialized in, or like where are you focused?
Human visual attention and implicit learning.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
What does that mean?
So basically, yeah, in
I was
regular
gonna say, I
people
have no
speak.
fucking clue.
Yeah.
So learning can be broken down into the implicit stuff and the explicit stuff. So implicit stuff is the stuff you're learning without awareness that you're learning it necessarily. So motor skills, learning to ride a bicycle, like you learn what your body needs to do and balance and all of that. But trying to teach somebody else to ride a bike, you can't give them that knowledge. You can give them tips of like, okay, yeah, try to keep the wheels moving and you'll keep going forward. Just general tips, but not this is how you ride a bike, sort of like this is how you turn on a computer where there's definite steps. So implicit learning, explicit learning is like more fact-based, or things that you can say like, this is a thing I learned on this date, or something I learned in school, or things that you can explicitly tell somebody that knowledge.
Okay, so it's like,
rather than stuff you've picked
so like
up along the way.
implicit's like things that you can learn by yourself, whereas explicit's more like you have to learn it. You can learn it with others, type of thing.
Kinda. I mean, so you can learn implicit stuff from others. Like my dissertation stuff had many a poor undergrad going through an 1.5 hour long experiment where they pushed buttons in a repeating pattern. And this repeating pattern was teaching them a sequence that we didn't let them know was happening. And most people didn't know that they were learning just the same 12 sequence button pushes. So it is something that can be taught by others, but not like, hey, push this button, push this button, push this button, push this button sort of thing. I mean, it's sort of like, go ahead.
Sorry, so I was just going to ask, like in terms of language, I suppose you could say there's both explicit and implicit. Like you pick things up in language, whereas you consciously learn other things. Is that a good way to think about it?
And so maybe this will help with like where cognitive is coming from. So the cognitive revolution was partially kicked off by Chomsky, who was going against the behaviorists like Skinner, if that name rings a bell. Skinner and Watson and other behaviorists said that language, it's all stimulus response. You learn a word, you get reinforced for the word, you learn it, and that's how language comes about. And Chomsky said, no, kids seem to have this innate ability to learn language that doesn't really require reinforcement. Like kids are able to just learn language, and he came up with this thing called like the language acquisition device, which was just a cognitive thing trying to say how kids learn language, because you don't have to teach a kid most of their early language. They just pick it up from being exposed to it and get some correction, but they're able to just put it in their brains, and there's a critical period for learning language. And so
first 5 years.
Okay,
I believe,
because
correct?
well, that kind of explains why like my nephew, who was by the age of like 3 or 4, could say the word velociraptor, because he liked to watch the YouTube, the side of YouTube where the people unpackage toys and whatnot and play with it. And the guy kept constantly saying, "This is Velociraptor Charlie. This is Velociraptor this, Velociraptor that." And so he was like, whenever we'd pause it, it'd be like, "What's that?" He's like, "That's Velociraptor Blue." And it's like, fuck, kid. I didn't even know that word at your age. Holy shit.
Yeah, but there's been Jurassic Park since then, so.
Well, I mean, even watching Jurassic Park, I was like, fuck. Yeah, I think I was
like
born
20
in
something when
1990.
Jurassic Park came out.
Your nephew was how old?
My nephew at the time, he was like 3 or 4.
I didn't even talk yet until I was 4.
Really? Didn't
I knew
have much
how.
to
I just
say?
didn't. I don't know.
See,
There's
I
a
always
lot
used
of
to
things in
talk
my
for my
childhood
sister.
that are.
Like my mom would go, "You guys want some treats and stuff?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll have one of those," and my sister will have one of those.
Yeah, my sister did the same thing to me, my older sister. And then my mom made sure that we didn't do that to my younger sister. And then my younger sister, she learned to talk and hasn't shut up since.
Excellent.
Cass, I have a question.
Mm.
Have you seen the movie 13th Warrior?
Yes.
Okay, so is it just me, or is there an actual, like, from what you've learned through schooling and whatnot, can someone actually learn language just by listening to other people speak a different language like that?
So,
like how Antonio Banderas did
Right.
whenever he was learning Norse.
Right. So I think, and so at one point I had the opportunity to go to South Africa, which was an amazing experience. But like if you hear a language enough, you can kind of pick up on the different words and like sort of meanings of them. But to sit around a campfire and just like, oh, I suddenly understand Norse, like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I thought that was bullshit because I sat there and watched it and I was like, without somebody who knows the language plus knows his language to be like, yes, that's what that means. I was like, it seems a bit bullshit for him to just be sitting on a boat for a long period of time, listening to them talk and being like, oh, I can pick this up now.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of how we learned to talk the first time?
Yeah. But so like with the, what is it called? Neural pruning that happens as you age, like you're born with just a buttload of brain cells in your head. And over time, it's pruned down to the ones that you need. And
I must have been in the washroom at that point.
Yeah, so there's a critical period for learning language, which is pretty early in life and is typically done by your teens. So if you're going to learn other languages, it's a lot easier to do as a kid than as an adult because you've got that wiring still to get that information in your head. What was the other point? Oh, so there's a difference between language comprehension and language production. So comprehending another language is a lot easier than producing it.
I can speak to that.
So, yeah.
Unintentional pun. Go on.
You want to try to hear drunkenese?
What the hell?
Oh,
Bad dog.
kill it with fire. Oh, wait, no, it's a fluffy. Never mind. Leave it alone. Give it food. It'll stop barking.
But then you're reinforcing the barking. Don't do that.
No. You smack it. You go, hey, whoa. Give me a little tap on the nose. And go, no. Now it's time to eat. They'll put two and two together. Dogs are pretty smart.
Oh, yeah. Too smart.
Cats, on the other hand.
My dog has learned my tone. So
I thought you were going to say how to drive my car.
No, I mean, if that was the case, shit, I'd be like, look, dog, you're gonna have to drink. You're gonna have to do this because I'm about to go out drinking. Okay, guy.
Yeah.
But no,
dogs are designated driver.
Yeah, but no, my dog has learned my tone of voice, and so he knows whenever he's done something bad. Doesn't mean he's stopped doing what he knew was bad. It just knows that he knows, oh, he's mad. Maybe I should just walk away from this right now, and I'll go back to it whenever he's not around or he's not as mad. And it's so funny because I'd be like, Brantley, and he's like, oh shit, he's mad. Let me go ahead and go into my house here. And he goes into his kennel, and he's just like, okay, I'm putting myself in timeout. Are you still mad? No, you're not mad? Okay, I'm going to go back to it, okay? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Zach imitating a volcano.
I'm just muted because you say about how loud this damn thing is, so,
I'm only giving you the gears, brother.
Plus this battery was about dead, so I had to put a new battery in it.
Oh, okay.
So
it takes too long to
so
charge.
put no battery in it. You want to use it, and then use a It's just, I just.
Oh, look at all these floofs everywhere. There's a black and white one there. There's an orange one in Sarah's lap. Closest thing I got is like a stuffed animal. Currently.
I'm in my truck, so.
Russ, you're always in your truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're always there. So it's nothing.
Oh yeah,
there.
and this week's going to be even worse because of the fact that I'm working 60 some odd hours this week. So
that's all right.
That doesn't sound fun.
I get off at midnight and then I go back in at 7 in the morning someplace else.
Sorry.
Good times.
Someone says something like that, and my mind just automatically goes to the whole dirty thing. I get off at midnight. Ooh, I wish I could. But Russ, this year, buddy,
we played it that well.
we got to meet up this year when I'm down in Texas.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we got to drink and get stupid and know things.
Oh God, yeah.
Like Tyrion.
We've all got to meet up at Faithless Forum.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, come on.
A huge group.
I want to make sure that I can make it. I mean, it always depends on if
Start saving your shekels, buddy.
Well, saving my shekels is one aspect, but the other aspect is the fact that, like for instance, this December we want to go to Florida for to see my. Well, no, to see my my in-laws and going to have Christmas with them, and so it's just making sure that I have enough time to be able to do that, and then when Faithless Forum comes around, I still go and do that as well. As far as time,
yeah, it's hard to save enough for something like that.
If they let you cross the border, but no, come on. Cross the border. If I can cross the border, anyone can cross the border. Hey, Jim, nice to see you. Jim from Atheist Edge is here with us as well. If you guys don't know what Atheist Edge channel is, definitely go check it out because I did an intro for them. That's not the reason to check it out because it's actually he creates great content. I also did what the hell did we do, Jim? We did was it me and Aaron or was it I can't even remember. We did the Bible thingy where we had to. I don't know. It's something biblical.
Another great pitch.
Epic biblical proportions. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, great pitch. Yeah, Jim's like, fuck this guy. He's never coming on my channel again.
He doesn't even know what he did with us. So, you know what? Fuck that guy.
Hey, I was kind of cut when I was down there, right? So, like, literally, when I was down there, Aaron Raw would not let me not have a beer in my hand. Like, your hand's empty. Drink this. I'm like, okay, fuck.
Oh
like,
God.
Me and Jim Neighbors.
Set down the beer, Neil.
But no, me and Jim Majors. See, they're similar. And Jamie the Heathen were stumbling around most of the time. Right, Jamie Boone from Talk Either. We're just stumbling around trying to find more alcohol. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
sounds like a physics conference.
Sounds like IBC.
I thought you were going to say it sounds like my grad.
Me and Jim have need to get together too and drink because him and I have a lot in common than I thought whenever I first started chit chatting with him and becoming friends with him. I was like, oh yes, he's a fellow Texan. Okay, that's cool. But then he was like, there's some pictures of the horses that are at my place. I'm like, wait, what? You have horses too? What's this nonsense? What? Other people have horses?
Jim, just FYI, I made you a moderator.
No,
it just snowballed from there. It was like we had a lot more in common than that. That was the one thing that was like stuck out. It was like, whoa, what? He has horses? What is this?
What's going on, Tatted? Oh, he's come here to give you a hard time, I guess, Russ.
Do what? Tatted
As
here?
usual, yeah.
Well, that's funny because
everyone's a mod.
We're still waiting for that. Tatted, we're still waiting for that booty shake. Just want to let you know that now.
I keep telling people I'm like Oprah with the wrenches, or as they say in England, spanner. I just you get a wrench and you get a wrench and you get a wrench. As long as you shill out stuff like links and shit.
Look under your
seat.
seat.
Speaking of which, look under your seats. There's a link to my
Look under
YouTube.
your-
Oh, hey, right on. You're breaking up, Russ. Russ, you're breaking up. It's like
I
the $6
know. I
million
don't know
man.
why.
I know why.
I don't know why.
Shitty internet.
Well, like I said, I have all my
I know.
bars are filled, and I have 4G still. Fucking phone.
Yep. StreamYards. That is correct.
Plural.
That's what I'm using. I pay for it though, so I got to put my branding and shit. See, everything's backwards. My branding's that direction, and I'm actually pointing away from it at my angle.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's all backwards here.
Branding.
Can't use this as a mirror. Like I try to readjust things, and it's like, nope, that's wrong. Yes, it's because I suck. Yes, but I'm not cheap. Okay.
I am.
Sarah gets the comment of the evening. I am. Is that a Coke you got over there? I'm in.
Yes.
Just ask the priest down the road. I'll do it for a 6-pack. I mean, did I say that out loud?
No, you said it in your head. We just are reading your mind.
If you guys want to go see what I did when I was down at Faithless Forum with the Atheist Edge at the restaurant that we were at, the link is now in the chat. It's some pretty funny shit, actually. I think it was me and Jim Majors? I don't know. I can't remember. Julie's got your back, Sarah. Unholy Sarah. Yes!
She knows how it is.
That's awesome. As you guys can hear, I'm still kind of plugged up and still kind of hacky, and my voice doesn't sound like it usually does. It's not as smooth and debonair as usual, but like, what, did I just pat myself on the back? Yeah, I guess so. But that's what somebody said that once. They said when they listened to my interview with Seth Andrews, they said it was like atheist ASMR because we both have these smooth, deep voices and we're talking back and forth, and they're all going, "Oh my goodness!" So it was like the smooth talking interview or whatever. Seth was a really good guest, though.
I will have to say, Neil, I'll have to admit, I have had to listen to some of your deconversion stories in order to fall asleep. Because your voice is like so soothing. And it helps me go to sleep. So I just had to admit that.
Dreams.
I don't quite know how to take that.
It could have been really, really fucking rude, couldn't it? That.
I'm thinking I'm going to start an ASMR channel now.
There you go.
Hi there. Yeah. Today it's all about tapping. Yeah. Actually, I dig that shit, man, because if I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll tune into, I think my favorite is Ting Ting. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but I love her Chinese accent. And she gets going on us and tapping on shit or whispering stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's it, I'm done. Like 5 minutes later, I'm out cold. It
has a very
does work.
soothing voice. Has a very soothing voice.
Not you? I mean, go ahead, tell us.
No, definitely not me. I don't have a soothing voice at all. But no, Oxhorn. Anyone familiar with who he is?
No.
He's a gaming channel. He does a lot of Fallout games. But if you listen to him, when he goes to start some of his lore videos, he's like, in the last episode, and he goes on and he's just like smooth as fuck, and you're just like, yeah, I'm about to fall asleep if I keep listening to you guys. Just gonna have to stop there.
Driving and
The turn signal's
leaning
killing
on
me.
the indicator.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, at
I'm
least he
driving
uses
and I'm
it.
over here.
Oh.
I'm over here driving and all of a sudden I just hear doop 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 doop.
Julie LaVoice says, you and Seth are atheist ASMR. Don't tease me. Yeah. Ricky Gervais is the best for falling asleep. Really?
I use guided sleep meditations instead of ASMR.
Actually, the guided sleep meditation is cool too.
I just lay there.
I just hit myself with a hammer. That usually does it. I'm out cold. Of course, there's a few dents here and there, but
Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, Carl Pilkington on XFM, I wouldn't fall asleep to it because it would just make me laugh too much. It's just brilliant. If anyone hasn't heard Carl Pilkington talking, it's insanely funny. Like,
yes,
beyond funny.
And Ricky too.
What is
yes. Ricky Gervais, Carl Pilkington, Stephen Merchant. They used to have a radio show, and actually HBO did like an animation of some of the best bits, which is good.
Duke's in the lounge, but I have no more room. Duke, buddy, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
Not only that, it's getting pretty close to me having to take off anyways, which sucks because Duke hasn't been in one of my my broadcasts for a while.
Yeah, he's been the couch in the storage unit.
Yeah. Couch in the storage unit. I like the way you put that. That's good. Oh man, I'm getting all plugged up again. Okay, cold. You can shove it up your ass now.
It's always the
My
worst
ass
in
is
mornings and at
pure
night.
When I said at the beginning of the interview, I said that I hadn't shaved because I was so sick I didn't even bother shaving. So I feel like I'm a furry.
Mhm.
So when I said,
Yep.
I'm a furry. I'm a member of that community now for some reason.
What is a furry? No one's explained this to me yet, and I
What?
don't
People that dress up like animals,
just
like a
to dress up.
fox or
Well, there's a lot more to it than that. I used to be friends with a couple furries. They have their like animal selves and like.
yes.
Oh man, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole big subculture.
Really?
Go on Tumblr.
Yeah,
Just avoid the porn.
you actually, and the
We
funny
have
thing
them
is,
on
you have
Twitter.
different sects.
Latroon. is
You have
one.
different sects of the furry community as well. You
There's
have
some
different
documentaries.
sects of the furry community as
Yep.
well. Like you'll have ones that are just, you know, the type that dress up. Ones that think that they actually are the animals that they dress up as. Like they go way too far extreme. And then you have the ones that are like, yeah, I like to get it dressed up in animal costumes and fucking them. And it's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Furry orgies and shit. It's a thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Zach, would you say Badger's a furry? Do you think?
Maybe.
I think he's got
I'm not really
tendencies.
sure.
I think he's got. I mean, look at his other avatar that he uses, the dancing one that wiggles in and out of his screen every once in a while.
Does it count as dressing up if it's your online avatar?
I don't know if I'd say because you're not dressing, you're not putting anything on, right? But
Well, I mean, in a manner of speaking.
So-
it's-
then Russ is a pumpkin pig.
Yeah.
So he's not a furry.
So I
he's
knew
a
this one
skin
guy.
guy. He's a.
Yeah.
What would you
He's a
even call that?
He's a clean shaven furry.
Yes, he's almost bacon. Let's put it that way.
So I knew this one. I met this one guy when I was in the army. I was
met a
sitting
guy
down
once.
at Chow, and I met a guy
I'm kidding,
once.
man. Every time
Didn't
I
like
do
him,
I've
but
been doing that for
I know.
years.
I met this guy whenever I was in team, and there was no other place to sit, so I sat down right there, and I started having a conversation with this guy. And it was a decent conversation until he sat there and says, "I'm a werewolf." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Really?
I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Did you
Yeah,
go out?
like, flat out.
Werewolves in London.
No, but he said, "I'm a werewolf," and I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he goes, "I'm a werewolf," and I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
can you change?"
Okay.
And he goes, "Well, I can't do it here. I can't do it here for obvious reasons." I was like, "Oh yeah,
Doesn't
the
matter.
Yeah,
reasons
well,
are
for obvious
fucking
reasons.
obvious."
some mother
Oh.
will pull out a gun and
Is
shoot
that
me.
like the Therian thing, like the
Yeah,
Wolfarian
probably.
thing, or is it just?
It's-
Oh, it doesn't work like that.
Something like that.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
but I was just
Before you continue, Russ, I have an order from Duke because he's anxiously waiting in the back room. He says, "Say, what is it? Hang on a second.
Sprinkles.
Hang on. Titty sprinkles. Yeah, that's right. Titty sprinkles." Because whenever I end my after parties, Duke always gets the last word or whatever. Sarah, you gonna be okay? You faded out again, Sarah. I almost tagged Duke in, but you were here first, so you get priority. But Duke always. I say, and with that, I'll say goodnight. And I do my Christopher Hitchens things, and then Duke always goes titties. So, nice to get that last word in.
But so anyways, I kept thinking, and he was going on about how the government would do experiments on him and shit. I'm like, if they're doing experiments on you, I'm pretty sure it's not because you're a werewolf. I'm pretty sure it's because they want to know what the fuck is wrong with you. And that's what I'm thinking in my head. But I was like,
just get a acetylene torch and look inside. Just hold them down and pull the hair back and get that acetylene torch in there and pop open the scalp and check out and see what's going on in there. Just remember to turn off the acetylene torch, or else you're going to be like what's his name in that movie? Well, that helps, Neil.
Yeah.
That's very
Hannibal,
specific.
where he roasts the guy's brain and then he feeds it to him. He's like,
that one guy.
What's that, Russ? Oh yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That one guy, and that's where he ended.
Yeah,
that,
because
Russ,
that one guy in that one movie.
Who did the thing?
I thought you were fading out again there, Russ.
No, it's just like that was the vaguest description. That one guy in the one movie. The guy with the face and the hair. Him.
Yeah, that guy, and he had that dog.
It did stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. It did dog stuff. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of a joke that my buddy said the other day where we were all pissed drunk the other day. Like almost every other day. But anyways, not like pissed drunk, but
Before you continue, is this a joke that's only funny whenever you're drunk, or is this a joke that's actually funny?
Okay. You're probably right. It's kind of a disturbing joke, but funny at the same time. Can you guys handle a little sick humor?
I mean, I was in the army, of course. I deal with things.
Valid point. How do you stop a dog from humping your leg? Pick him up and suck him off.
Oh.
See, I told you. Of course, when I was downstairs at my buddy's place and he tells that joke, he just blurts it out there. I spit beer across the room. He's like, great, thanks for ruining my TV.
It's got the shock factor for it.
Well, Matthew already ruined your computer screen, so.
That's right, too. I have
in the military, we had jokes like, what's worse than a dead baby in a trash can? 100 dead babies in a trash can.
Or one dead baby in 100 trash cans.
Oh, God.
Honestly, I would have expected...
And then it's like, what's worse than that? Well, you know what's worse than 100 dead babies in the trash can?
Uh-huh.
The one live baby trying to crawl out.
No. It's a truckload.
We have all these different jokes that we always tell that is like people who
dead baby jokes are so mindset. 90s.
Yeah, but we had so many jokes that people who weren't within our little group, like people who were civilians, would have been like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You're sick." It's like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Okay, bye.
No, the truckload one is how do you unload a truckload of dead babies with a pitchfork? How do you tell the one that's still alive?
Because it screams?
The pitchfork's wiggling.
Oh.
It's a visual one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway. They were bad even in the 90s. Okay, so.
Yeah, they were pretty bad even in the 90s.
I don't think dead baby jokes get better with time, let's be honest.
That is a very valid point. But it's close enough to Halloween that we can get away with it.
Yeah, it's festive.
My favorite joke My favorite joke that anyone ever told me was when my sister turned to me and said, "I like my men how I like my wine," 10 years old and locked in the basement.
Oh my god.
That's the best one I've ever heard.
And I just got the ability to be monetized, and it's never going to happen now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not today.
So this joke,
Duke fucked
this
that up
joke
like
I have,
1 year ago. So
this joke is
Let her speak.
this joke I have. This joke that I have is one of my favorites, and it could be because it came from my grandfather, and I miss my grandfather terribly. But it's one that he told me, where he said there's this guy who gets to prison, in his and yells out 23, and everyone starts laughing. Some other guy yells out 41, and everyone starts laughing. And so the guy asks his cellmate, "What the hell? What's the numbers and whatnot?" And his cellmate says, "Well, a lot of us have been here for so long that we just started numbering our jokes, and so now anytime someone yells out, the number, they laugh at it." So I was like, "Okay." And so one guy was like 27, and everyone starts laughing, and he goes 27, and nobody cracks a smile at it. No one. It's so silent you can hear a pin drop. He's like, "What the hell?" And his cellmate was like, "Some guys just don't know how to tell jokes."
Russ, you blew it, buddy. He doesn't say the same number. He says another number, and nobody laughs. And he goes, "Oh, buddy, it's all in the delivery."
Well, this is what my grandfather told me. Okay, like I said, it's one of my favorites only because it came from him.
Speaking of grandparents, so I was talking to my grandparents the other week. It's not really a joke; it's just a funny thing that happened. And they're kind of Christian, not really that serious about it. So I asked them. I said,
"Kind of Christian?"
Yeah, like they're into it, but they don't really. It's in their
Christian
life, but they don't do anything Christian-y. They were just raised on it. And so I said to him, "What do you think about the Bible?"
Oops.
And my granddad just goes, "Not gospel, is it?" And it just always gets me. There was another one as well from my other granddad, which is actually a joke. He said he wants to get 2 goldfish. I told you this for Sarah, so don't spoil it. He wants to get 2 goldfish. One of them is going to name 1. The other one is going to name 2. So that if one dies, he's still got 2 left.
Oh. That's actually pretty good, man. I like that.
He's a bit of a dad joke extraordinaire, that particular grandfather. I'm
gonna have to use that one because as I once tweeted, sub to my channel if you like beer guzzling, weed smoking, bad dad joke spewing guys on the internet. Then I'm your guy, right? So yeah, I'll have to try that one. That's good. Of course, I'm not actually a dad, at least that I know of, but
it is kind of nice being the one with the uterus to know for sure whether or not I have it.
I'm sorry. Way back in the day, I sold my uterus for a bag of weed, so wasn't doing much. It was just sitting on the shelf, so People are like, "What?"
We just let that slide, Neil. We just pretend it was never said.
I'll edit it out later.
I was not surprised. I was like, "That's just common. It's common to have uteruses on your shelf."
Yeah, dad's uterus on the shelf. Like, what? This has to be a thing now. No more Elf on the shelf. Now it's dad's uterus on the shelf.
It's gonna watch you.
Yep.
Till Christmas.
That in my Christmas card. Yeah. Talk about nightmare before Christmas. Fuck.
Instead of waking up to doing stupid little antics, the uterus on the shelf is just gonna wake up when it's right there in your face.
What have we started here?
It's the new atheist tradition for holidays.
It's horrible.
Oh,
The next thing that we have to ask is Duke allowed to run with this?
Sure, you could.
Duke is always allowed to
Like
run
we
with
could
it.
stop him.
Oh, it's funny. You know what's funny? My sister, she used to have these coworkers that what they would always do is somebody had bought a summer sausage, and what they would do is they would put it places for other employees, for the other coworkers to find. And one day, my sister goes out to her car, and it's always when you least expect things. And, so someone could have it for a few days, a week, maybe a month. And out of nowhere, she gets out to her car, goes to get in it, and just starts laughing. And I just happened to be with her that day because she was working at the mall, and I was up at the mall. And she starts laughing. I was like, what? And I come around. The summer sausage is sitting right there in between her mirror and the car door, just sitting there. And she was like, I was like, what the fuck? What is this? And she just like, she explained to me. I was like, oh my God. And so she was like, I'm going to put it somewhere where this person least expected to be. And it was just one of those things that they always did. Like all these, it was a bunch of them. I don't know why, but they just pass around a sausage.
Can I ask a question?
As you do.
That's it. Huh?
What is a summer sausage?
I don't know.
Raise your hand to ask a question.
They only grow on the trees in the summertime.
Yeah. Exactly. This is a sausage that's only you see
It's
it's
a
a
type of
sausage
salami.
That you can
it
keep
grows
warm.
in the ground. It grows in the ground, and every
It grows
summer
in the ground.
it finally, and every
That's
summer
where I
it finally
dig for
just
my
pops
meat
up.
in the ground. Hey, look at that. Wow, look at that. There's some lawn yager in there too. Hi, Adelinda. Yes, I'm still streaming. For about 10 minutes, actually, because I got to fuck off at 7. Because I'm going to eat some food. It's my birthday,
summer
actually,
sausage.
coming up. Summer sausage. Jeez. It's a sausage fest. Yay. But I'm going to... I'm actually going for some steak tonight, so
Ooh.
close enough.
All right.
Yeah, I know. Ooh,
So when's your birthday?
fancy. On the 20th,
Man.
which is Sunday, and I got tonight. A friend of mine's taking me out because he gets off work in like 10 minutes, so a little after 7, we'll be taking off. We're going to a place. We have a place here called the Keg, which is a really expensive steak place, but you can get the exact same shit at another place that we go to, and it'll probably cost you about $30-$40 less overall at the end of the night, because I put away a couple beers or whatever and have a big steak. It's called Mr. Mike's Steakhouse, and actually I prefer it over the Keg, and the Keg's actually really good, but that's where we're going tonight. So yeah, and then,
I just want to let y'all know now. Before Neil got YouTube money, he was eating ramen, and now he's eating
ramen. I still have ramen. I like ramen, but I like pho even more, which is the Vietnamese noodle soups that you get like the gigantic bowls, and they put like
And
noodles
he only
in
started
there,
eating
broth in there, and like a car and stuff like you can put everything inside this stuff. It's great.
and he only started eating that after he got the YouTube money. So, he's changed a lot since he became.
Since I got it like today.
Big YouTube dollars.
Got famous.
Yeah, I've probably made like 2 cents so far. Great.
Yeah.
I'll put that towards steak. The 23-ounce porterhouse. Anyway, yeah, no, that's what's happening tonight. And then tomorrow night, I'm going out with my sister, and my dad, who lives up in the country, is coming down here on the weekend on Friday, and we got a bunch of guys coming out to the Jam Studio on Friday to have a couple of beers, and then Saturday I'm doing the interview with Vila Bianca, so I'll probably have a couple there, and of course afterwards my buddy Mikey downstairs is doing up a barbecue. So, floofy, and
He's skittish.
is he? Aw. He likes. Oh, I thought he's Skittles. What?
Skittish. He's
Taste
skittish.
the rainbow.
He has to be careful, or he'll
Oh, is
get
he?
scared and run off.
Oh, stay, Floof, stay. It's a Floof world after all. Sorry, there. Will that soothe them? Maybe a little. I don't know.
I mean, no.
And then, of course, Sunday is my actual birthday, and guess what? I don't actually have anything planned for that day because Monday I'm going out for dinner with the family. So, yeah.
But that's a
Just
good
put on your
birthday,
underwear
right?
and drink beer all day.
That's what I'm doing right now. I just happen to have a T-shirt on for, exposure purposes.
Don't stand up.
Us.
Oh, yeah, Zach knows. I always do the gratuitous cross shots. That's why he's about to vomit. Sorry. So, yeah. I don't have any beer left in here. This'll work. Yeah. It's Monday I'm voting. How'd you know that, Manone? But that's creepy. How'd you know that? I'm actually voting on Monday. Oh right, you're Canadian. What am I thinking? Manone Jelena.
Do you know Nardwar? Personally?
Do I know? Actually, you know what? I actually do know Nardwar.
Really?
The human serviette? Fuck yeah. I've drank with him multiple times.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
He still won't
That's
interview me on his show, though. Prick. I went and visited him when he was in the hospital, actually.
Oh, really?
With his, yeah.
I saw he did a
I have
video
no
with
idea who
Clara
that is.
the other day.
Nardwar is...
Sam.
He calls himself the human serviette. He's interviewed many famous people that have come through Vancouver. One of my favorite interviews of his was with Henry Rollins. And in the middle of the interview, he's kind of got a quirky voice. He doesn't actually talk like that in real life, but
oh, really?
he goes, you know, Henry, I've heard that from the girls, I've heard that you've got a dick that's shaped like a soup can. Is that true? He goes, well, and actually I've met Henry Rollins too, just FYI.
Nice.
Only briefly, but
Humble brag.
well, no, I've worked in the record industry for years before I became a scientist. But
Humble brag.
So I worked for.
I only have 3 Ferraris. It's nothing big.
I don't have any fucking. I drive as Duke likes to say, a Prius, but it's actually a Ford Fusion.
Hey, at least we have proof now from your video that you drive a Prius.
What? That's not my Prius. That was a Toyota for one, and it's not even mine. I took a picture at the big family reunion.
Prius,
on the back.
Isn't Prius made from Toyota?
Fusion.
Yeah,
Toyota?
Prius is made from Toyota.
Is it?
Yep.
Or like the parts when one gets blown up, or like.
Okay, then maybe it was a Prius. I don't even know. I just said it's a Toyota something or other when I answered his question. So I don't know, but maybe it was.
Yeah, it's a Toyota Prius. Got it. You have a Toyota Prius.
I don't. Mine's a Ford Fusion, and I even sent him photographic evidence, but he still denied it. He's like a fucking flat earther or a younger creationist. Could drop the evidence in his lap and he'd fucking hand wave off.
Photoshop is the thing.
But
Photoshop is the thing.
Photoshop is the thing. Yeah, on my phone in the middle of a field. That's
deep
gonna
fake.
work.
Yeah,
deep fake.
It's fake. You can edit. You can edit photos on your phone. I do it all the time. That's how I got this avatar. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, Russ. I'll edit a nice photo for you later. It's gonna have one of these in it.
Hey, you got 2 of them?
Better than where I thought you were going with that.
Buddy, I got a whole bouquet of them. Okay.
My uncle used to tell me all the time whenever I flipped him off for something he said about me.
All the time? Like, didn't he let you sleep?
Actually, all the time, or just all the time?
Got it! Hey, all y'all can
fuck, I
suck
love
a
you
dick.
guys.
But anyways,
I understand where your
Anyway.
name came from now.
Sorry, Russ. Carry on.
anyway, so every time I flip off my uncle for something he said about me, he's like, "You got two of those?" And so I'd flip them both words, and he's like, "All right, now shove them up your ass and walk on your elbows." I was like, "Huh,
I like your uncle.
yeah, I do."
Sounds like a really chill guy.
Yeah, mature like me.
He was a very, very mature fellow.
I still sleep with stuffed animals. Right, so. The story behind this guy is I had a Tigger when I was
Tigger?
little. It's Tigger. Yeah, it's Tigger. You know, it's Tigger.
Well, no. You said the story behind this. It's Tigger. That's the story behind it.
Okay, you can
Actually-
shut now.
So deep in the 100-acre woods. Come on, as you were saying.
My name is Christopher Robin. No, I had a Tigger when I was a little kid, and I had it for years and years, and I lost it in one of my moves. So my dad went down to Florida. He went to Disney World and picked this up for me as a replacement.
Aw.
I was 38 at the time.
No shame.
He brought it back. He stuffed it in his bag, and he brought it back. And now Tigger's got this permanent kink in his neck. It's always like this. But you know, when he passed away, I slept with Tigger that night.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, that's quite a reaction, isn't it?
I'm just gonna say that the wonderful thing about Tigger is Tigger's a wonderful thing.
What were their tops made of again?
My sister hates me now because when my little niece Marissa was born, well, her first birthday, I got her a Tigger that you can put batteries in, and you hit it on the head and it bounces. Right?
I used to have one of those. It was my favorite toy.
I know, right?
Sorry,
and it
I
goes,
got really
I'm gonna
excited.
bounce, and you hit it, and he bounces around. And my sister's giving me this look like, I hate you. 'Cause now she's gonna listen to Marissa playing with this thing the whole time.
When I was like 4 years old, I had that toy, and I loved it so much that if my parents stepped or pushed on my head, I would like impersonate the toy. And they had as much fun playing with that little quirk of mine as I did playing with the toy.
That's awesome. Next time I see you, I'm gonna hit you in the head now. And you're gonna have to do
I don't
that.
even remember what. I'll find those footage to remember how to do it.
You say you impersonated the toy. I just have a vision of, you know what they do in, like, is it transcendental meditation, where they try to fly and then they just sort of hop along.
We had those
the
fucking
mattresses.
yogic guys. We had a political party with those guys. Where they're
Really?
sitting on the foot with their legs crossed and they're doing yogic flying and they're bouncing around. I'm like, yeah, you're not getting into office.
So that's actually in Stephen Howson's book. He talks about how that's a cult, and Russell Brand's like one of their ambassadors on their website and stuff.
Oh God,
That's
Brandon
really
Noyes is
interesting.
6
Russell Brand.
Oh, that reminds me, because they're kind of similar-ish, but although Tim Minchin's way cooler. I'm trying to get him on the show.
That'd be cool.
Tim Minchin? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Sweet.
Maybe I'll get him to do a little soon or something, because he's fucking hilarious.
It's his job, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but still. Because George
That doesn't
Carlin's
make him less
hilarious, and that was
hilarious.
his job too, right?
I was going to say it's not as funny anymore, but he kind of is. It's just in a different kind of way.
Who? George Carlin?
Yeah.
Well, of course he's not anymore. He's no longer with us.
But YouTube is what I mean.
Well, sure. I went and saw him live a couple of times, man.
Oh,
And
really?
he was really, really
actually.
cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
At Queen Elizabeth Theatre, because, you know, being Canadian and all.
Yeah.
Commonwealth.
no, we've escaped. They let us go.
You're not part of the Commonwealth.
Well, we're not ruled by her anymore, but I guess we're still the Commonwealth. But
Don't some of the taxes go to her still too? Or the crown?
I believe so. Some residual shit. But we're now allowed to take her off the money. So she's only allowed on like a couple of things, or she's only on a couple of things.
That grip will be tightening once we leave the EU.
Is that right? Uh-oh.
I reckon because they'll be striking up things.
I reckon?
That
That sounds far more Texan than the EU. That's for sure.
I reckon.
You sound like what's
anything.
the buddy from Sling Blade there?
Oh.
French fried mutton.
French fried taters.
Should not have done that, I reckon.
Atom was telling me that they said that I think it's Sarah. You might correct me on this. I think you were there when he was saying this. That the Southern accent is phonetically most similar to the British accent or something like that in the world or something. I don't
think
hear
it's
it myself.
I could see
Like
that.
New England.
Good conversation.
New England.
No, I don't.
That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
I don't think.
New England's
It
like
doesn't sound like-
Massachusetts and like Vermont.
Oh,
that whole area.
Hang on there.
New York.
New York.
Because there's like the similar accent, and then obviously there's a similar language, which is Frisian or something. The language is most similar to the actual English language. But yeah, I thought because I hear there's one, isn't there? There's like a little island off the coast somewhere, America, and they're the most close to British, and I'm like, I don't
Like
hear
old
it.
British. Old British.
Yeah, but even that.
Bishop
See the
roll that
indicator
roll.
going again. Turn signal going again.
Yeah, I was gonna say that here in the South, it'd be nothing as far as I know, close to the British English.
No.
I honestly don't think New England is close to British English either.
It's not that new anymore either.
Yeah,
It's really not.
So
Zach, I swear you were
newer
going to
than
take
Old
off like a
England.
rocket there for a second. This is
so
like NASA.
with
or
a lot of the
something.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Oh,
even within New England, you have several different accents depending on where you're from, and it's because they have all these little different quirks in the language itself. But a lot of them, some of the most similar that they have is like they don't pronounce the R's with the hard R sound. It's more like a
fucking
ah
hard R?
sound. Yeah, like
is that
R.
like when you're a
whereas,
pirate?
like-
Yarr! Is that a hard
No,
R?
no. So like whenever you say the word Concord, up there they
Or
say
like-
Concord.
Oh,
Or
I
like
got you. Okay.
the corner store, like
Corner
Oh,
I
store.
used
yeah.
to hear my aunt Sue talk.
Yeah, one of the
Pocket
famous
cat, have it,
phrases.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the famous phrases. Instead of saying "park the car in Harvard Yard," it's "park the car in Harvard Yard."
Pack the cat,
Pack the
have it,
cat and
yeah.
have it yad. Yeah.
When I first moved
So-
from Massachusetts, everyone made me say that. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
Oh, but like for instance, some of the phrases they have up there are weird too. For like someone like me down here in the South, where we have water fountains, up there they call them bubblas.
Bubbless. Sorry.
A bubbler. And so then they have things like different phrases like wicked pissa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one is like, whenever I heard it, I was like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Means a lot of things.
I was like, I'm sorry, what the hell is a wicked pissa? What is that? And they're like, it just means like something's cool. And I was like, why not just say fucking cool then?
Yeah, IQ showed up again and he's whoring all your channels out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with being whored out.
Me too.
Right?
This
My
doesn't happen
boyfriend,
very
on the
often
other
anymore.
hand,
I don't get whored out very often because I don't do shit that much
Yeah,
anymore.
you don't do jack shit anymore, man.
Although I will say I do have 2 videos that I plan on doing
Uh-oh.
before I do a major project that I'm doing.
Aw.
And I'm also in the middle of a collab as well.
Okay, cool.
The collab's not going to be on my channel. It's going to be on.
What is that?
It's going to be on Tim
oh,
Stoic.
it's also a lobster.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
It's a cat toy.
sweet.
Oh,
I kind of want to
it's just a
play with
finger
it.
puppet.
Bat
I got it
around
from
a little.
Logan Airport in Boston.
Really? What you
I
have
went to
there?
visit in April. Yeah, I went to visit in April because my family, a bunch of them, live there since.
I had
born there and all
lobster a
that
few
shit.
days ago, actually. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry
man,
about
I
that.
haven't eaten lobster in forever. It's expensive.
You know what's funny it used to be the food of the poor people back in the day. Right?
Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah,
when.
because lobsters are known as pretty much trash animals because of the fact that they eat a lot
Bottom
of
feeders.
the different algae. Yeah, it's a bottom feeder. So it
Okay,
was like
dude,
none
chill.
of us rich people can be associated with eating things that are bottom feeders. No, fuck
They
that.
eat garbage off the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And now it's a delicacy.
Once it got commercialized, everyone's like, "Oh yes, this is us. We start this trend."
Like the steak and lobster, please. Thank you. With a little bit of Hollandaise sauce on the side.
Was that
I have to go.
James
I'm being
Uppertooth?
drugged now via text. So
Oh.
You're in
Yes.
trouble.
I got to go eat some steak and lobster. No lobster.
Live it up, dude.
But dude, Andy, thanks so much for hanging out with me earlier today and for
Yeah,
enduring
thanks
the
for having
after
me.
party. And Cass, it was nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
I will. You're on Twitter, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Do we follow each other, or is that going
I
to
think
have to happen?
so.
Okay, I'll get in touch with you.
Okay.
And we'll set something up for the show. Zach, you've already been on. Russ, you've already been on. Sarah, you've already been on. So screw you guys. No, I'm kidding.
Screw you guys, I'm my host.
We don't matter.
Well, you matter. Everyone's matter. Science jokes.
Damn it.
I was going to tell a science joke about salt, and then I said, nah. But it's okay. All right.
You know what? Go eat your damn steak.
I'm going to go eat some steak, and I'm going to enjoy it. Oh, hang on. Oh, Mikey just showed up. Oh, wait, hang on. It's not showing. There it is.
Mikey who?
Oh, man, Mikey.
Oh yeah.
The device.
Mikey.
Fuck, one of my most favorite people ever. All right. Yeah, sorry, Mikey, man. I'd let you jump in, but Duke tried earlier, but he got denied because we already have 6 people in here. So until next time, everyone, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I did. You guys looked like you were having pretty much fun, so I'll call this a gold one. Yay! All right. So until next time, guys. Like the late great Christopher Hitchens once said, "It's called faith because it's not knowledge." And we'll see you guys next time.
Titties